Rediscovering Joy, Connection, and Healing, a journey of reflection for those in their golden years. As we grow older, many of us find ourselves reflecting on the paths we've walked, the choices we've made, and the lives we've built. For those in their later years, from 55 to 80, life can feel like a balancing act between the joys of what we've achieved and the weight of the regrets we might carry. But beyond the surface of these reflections lies an opportunity to reconnect with our deepest selves, find healing, and rediscover the simple joys that perhaps once defined us. Many older adults in America today find themselves facing a society that, in many ways, has shifted away from values of community, playfulness, and emotional expression. In a world that often seems dominated by technological advancement, endless striving, and detachment, we might ask ourselves, where did the time for joy go? Where did our sense of connectedness with others fade, and how can we reclaim it? The importance of play and joy. Reflecting on our lives, one of the deepest regrets many express is the sense that they didn't allow themselves to truly enjoy life. For many older adults, life has been shaped by duty, whether to family, work, or societal expectations. The pursuit of success, stability, or respect often came at the cost of joy and playfulness. Yet, as we age, we may realize how essential those moments of lightheartedness were to our sense of fulfillment. Psychologists have long recognized that humans are wired for joy. In our earliest years, we learn about the world through play. For children, play is natural. It brings laughter, curiosity, and growth. But over time, many of us slowly bury this natural inclination under layers of responsibility and expectation. We prioritize being productive, reliable, and serious over allowing ourselves to embrace the playful spirit we once knew. For many, the thought of bringing playfulness back into their lives might feel distant or even trivial. But what if reclaiming joy, whether through a hobby, a creative pursuit, or simply spending time with loved ones, could unlock a deeper sense of happiness that has been waiting patiently for us all along? Reflect on the last time you laughed with abandon, or when you lost yourself in a simple, joyful activity. These moments are not just fleeting. They are what make life rich, even in its later years. The challenge of balancing joy and empathy in a world of suffering. As we age, we accumulate wisdom, perspective, and often a deep sense of empathy for the suffering in the world. Many older adults feel a profound connection to the struggles around them, whether it's the pain of loved ones, societal injustices, or global conflicts. For those who are deeply empathetic, the burden of this awareness can sometimes overshadow the simple pleasures of life. We may feel that in a world filled with hardship, we have no right to be happy. It's important to recognize, however, that joy and empathy are not mutually exclusive. One of the greatest challenges of our later years is learning how to hold both joy and sorrow at the same time. We can acknowledge the suffering that exists in the world and even be deeply affected by it without allowing it to rob us of the moments of happiness we still deserve. Consider this. True empathy and compassion for others do not require that we sacrifice our own well-being. In fact, the opposite is often true. When we allow ourselves moments of joy, we are better equipped to help those in need. Whether it's volunteering, offering a listening ear, or simply being present for others, we can be of greater service when we've nurtured our own happiness. This delicate balance between joy and empathy, between happiness and responsibility, is one that many older adults must navigate. The good news is that it's never too late to learn this balance. As we grow older, we have the opportunity to develop a deeper understanding of how to live with both grace and joy, even in a world that sometimes feels heavy with sorrow. The burden of emotional suppression. Another common theme for many in their later years is the realization that they spent much of their life suppressing their true emotions. From an early age, many of us were taught to hide our feelings, whether to be strong for others, to avoid conflict, or to meet the expectations of our roles as parents, professionals, or spouses. For men, this suppression often took the form of avoiding vulnerability. Societal norms long dictated that men should be stoic, withholding their emotions to maintain a sense of strength. For women, it often came in the form of caretaking, putting the needs of others first and pushing their own emotions aside. Yet, as we reach our golden years, the cost of this suppression can become clear. Many older adults begin to experience chronic health issues, which research increasingly shows are tied to the emotional burdens carried over a lifetime. Unexpressed grief, anger, or fear can manifest in physical ailments such as hypertension, heart disease, or autoimmune disorders. The connection between emotional health and physical health is undeniable, and as we age, the effects become even more pronounced. Learning to express emotions, whether through speaking with loved ones, engaging in therapy, or simply acknowledging our feelings, can lead to profound healing. It's never too late to unburden ourselves from the weight of emotions long suppressed. In fact, many older adults find that once they begin to release these emotions, they experience a renewed sense of vitality, energy, and even improved health. The power of forgiveness. A key part of this emotional unburdening is forgiveness, both of ourselves and of others. As we age, we may find ourselves carrying the weight of grudges, past hurts, or unresolved conflicts. Holding on to this emotional baggage can be exhausting, and it can prevent us from fully enjoying the years we have left. Forgiveness does not mean condoning the actions of others or minimizing the pain we've experienced. Instead, it's about freeing ourselves from the emotional chains that keep us tied to the past. When we forgive, we release the grip that old wounds have on our hearts and minds. This process can lead to a sense of peace, contentment, and freedom. One of the most challenging aspects of forgiveness is self-forgiveness. Many older adults look back on their lives with regret, wishing they had made different choices, treated others better, or taken more risks. But just as we would show compassion to a friend who has made mistakes, we must learn to extend that same compassion to ourselves. We did the best we could with the knowledge and resources we had at the time. Now, in our later years, we have the opportunity to make peace with our past and move forward with grace. Addiction in its many forms. For many older adults, addiction is a topic that hits close to home. While some may think of addiction only in terms of substances like alcohol or drugs, the reality is that addiction can take many forms. Whether it's gambling, shopping, food, or even work, addiction often serves as a way to escape from emotional pain or fill a void that has been present for years. At its core, addiction is not about the substance or behavior itself. It's about the underlying pain that drives it. As Dr. Gabor Mate famously says, the question is not why the addiction, but why the pain. This question is particularly relevant for those in their later years who may find themselves struggling with long-standing habits or behaviors that are no longer serving them. It's important to recognize that addiction is not a moral failing or a sign of weakness. It is a coping mechanism, often developed early in life, to deal with emotional wounds that were never properly addressed. The good news is that even in our later years, it is possible to heal from addiction. By addressing the root causes of the pain and learning healthier ways to cope, many older adults find that they can break free from the cycle of addiction and live more fulfilling lives. The importance of connection. As we grow older, many of us begin to recognize the importance of relationships, both with others and with ourselves. One of the greatest regrets expressed by those in their later years is the feeling of having lost touch with friends and loved ones. In our youth, we often prioritize work, success, and other external goals over the deep connections that truly nourish us. But as we age, it becomes clear that relationships are what give life its meaning. Loneliness is a growing epidemic among older adults in America, and it can have serious consequences for both mental and physical health. Research shows that social isolation can lead to depression, cognitive decline, and even a shorter lifespan. Yet, despite the importance of connection, many older adults struggle to maintain relationships as they age. The good news is that it's never too late to rebuild connections, whether it's reaching out to old friends, joining a community group, or simply spending more time with family. Nurturing relationships can lead to a greater sense of fulfillment and happiness. In our later years, we have the opportunity to prioritize the people who matter most and create a sense of community that supports our well being. Living authentically in your golden years. One of the greatest gifts of aging is the opportunity to live more authentically. As we grow older, we often care less about the expectations of others and more about what truly brings us joy. This shift in perspective can be incredibly liberating. After decades of striving, we may finally feel free to be ourselves, whether that means pursuing a long forgotten passion, speaking our minds more freely, or simply enjoying the present moment. Living authentically doesn't mean abandoning responsibility or neglecting others. Instead, it's about finding a balance between honoring our commitments and staying true to our own needs and desires. It's about listening to the voice within that tells us what truly matters and having the courage to follow it. As we enter our later years, we have the opportunity to reflect on the lives we've built and ask ourselves, am I living in alignment with who I truly am? If the answer is no, it's never too late to make changes. Whether big or small, these changes can lead to a more fulfilling and joyful life. The role of curiosity and compassion in self discovery. Curiosity is one of the most powerful tools we have in our journey of self discovery, especially as we age. Rather than judging ourselves for the choices we've made or the emotions we feel, we can approach our inner world with curiosity. By asking ourselves compassionate questions, why did I react that way? Or what am I truly feeling right now? We open the door to greater understanding and healing. In our later years, curiosity can help us uncover the layers of ourselves that have been hidden away for decades. It can help us make peace with our past, understand our present, and create a future that is more aligned with who we truly are. Compassion, both for ourselves and others, is equally important. As we reflect on our lives, it's easy to fall into the trap of self criticism or blame. But by approaching ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can begin to heal the wounds that have held us back. We can learn to forgive ourselves for past mistakes and embrace the person we've become. The role of purpose and legacy in aging. As we move into our later years, one of the most profound shifts in perspective is how we view our purpose in life and the legacy we leave behind. Many people in their golden years find themselves reflecting on what they have contributed to the world, their family, and their communities. While younger years may have been focused on achievement, career building, and raising families, later life often opens up a more contemplative space where we ask deeper questions about meaning and lasting impact. Purpose does not diminish with age. In fact, it often takes on new forms. Perhaps in earlier years, purpose was tied to professional success or raising children. But as life circumstances change, so does our sense of what gives life meaning. For many older adults, purpose in later years may shift to mentoring younger generations, engaging in volunteer work, contributing to community projects, or even simply being a source of love, wisdom, and support for friends and family. Understanding that purpose evolves can help us stay connected to the things that matter most, even as our abilities or circumstances change. Finding new purpose in aging often involves looking beyond oneself. Legacy, the impact we leave behind, can be a powerful motivator in these later years. Many older adults begin to focus on how they will be remembered, what values and lessons they have imparted to their children or grandchildren, or how their contributions will continue to influence others after they are gone. Legacy is not just about material inheritance, it's about the memories we create, the relationships we nurture, and the positive changes we leave in the world. Even if you are no longer working or your children have grown, your presence and influence matter. Grandparents often play critical roles in their grandchildren's lives, passing down stories, values, and wisdom that shape younger generations in ways they may not even realize. Small acts of kindness or sharing life lessons can leave an imprint that echoes long after we are gone. In a way, these acts are the seeds we plant that continue to grow, even when we are no longer here to tend to them. For many older adults, thinking about what legacy they will leave can be both inspiring and comforting. It allows us to focus on the enduring impact of our lives and reminds us that our existence continues to matter, even as we face the natural aging process. Whether through relationships, creative work, or acts of service, considering your legacy can bring a sense of fulfillment, helping you live the remainder of your life with intention and peace. Legacy is not limited to grand gestures. You don't need to be famous or wealthy to leave behind a meaningful legacy. Often, it is the simple moments of kindness, the values you model for others, and the love you share that leave the most lasting impact. In the quiet moments of reflection, when we ask ourselves, what will I be remembered for? The answer is often found in how we lived, not just in what we accomplished. Thus, purpose and legacy are powerful forces in our later years. They offer direction, meaning, and an enduring connection to the world around us, even as we face the inevitable physical limitations and challenges of aging. We can find fulfillment in knowing that our lives continue to contribute to the well-being of others. By focusing on purpose and legacy, we transform aging into a stage of life filled with growth, significance, and lasting influence. In these years, you have the opportunity to consciously craft your legacy by reflecting on your values, deepening your relationships, and finding joy in the knowledge that your life has touched others in meaningful ways. Ultimately, embracing the roles of purpose and legacy allows us to age not with fear, but with a sense of fulfillment, contentment, and lasting contribution. Conclusion: embracing the golden years. Aging is often seen as a time of decline, but it doesn't have to be. For those in their golden years, this stage of life can be an opportunity for deep reflection, healing, and growth. It's a time to rediscover joy, nurture relationships, express emotions, and live authentically. By embracing these opportunities, we can create a life that is rich with meaning, connection, and fulfillment. The journey to emotional and physical well-being doesn't end as we age. It continues, offering new lessons and insights at every turn. As we reflect on our past and look forward to the future, let us do so with curiosity, compassion, and a commitment to living fully, no matter our age. Thank you for watching the entire video. If you find these stories inspiring and motivating, please comment 1. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.